The reality is that Boris is a broken brand. He was an asset to the Conservatives before the 2019 election. He won the election to the mayoralty of London twice, and London's not a Tory city. So he clearly has been a very successful campaigner. But the reality is now that after 3 years' experience of him as Prime Minister, for a variety of reasons, I don't think that he personally can recover from the trashing that he's given himself. And as he's currently in Rwanda, I think he'd be better advised to stay out there as a poster boy for Priti Patel's policy and seek asylum himself. He's also very popular in Ukraine, so he could go there. But I don't think he's going to win any election in the United Kingdom. And it's partly because of Partygate, but I think more particularly it's because we don't really know what's the purpose of this Conservative government. Immigration immigration is totally out of control. 880,000 people last year acquired a right of settlement in the United Kingdom.
The purpose of this Conservative government is Boris Johnson.
Well, that's true, because I don't believe he has any political strategy at all. He's fundamentally an entertainer. Rather than a politician.
Yeah. But you could say that
but the joker's worn a bit thin, I'm afraid.
Well, Vladimir Zelensky was a comedian. He's not doing badly. Well, what do you think?
I think there are... You mentioned a lot of the possible reasons why people voted in the way that they did in Tiverton and also in Wakefield. Wakefield's an important seat because it's symbolic. It was part of the Red Wall in 2019 that turned partially blue. And then I think Tiverton, in a way, is almost more important because what it reminds us is that if there is a left-leaning, and the Lib Dems, you could say, are gently left-leaning, Starmer's no way near as far left-leaning as Corbyn, but if there is a left-leaning pact, and it can be an informal one, it doesn't have to involve the party leaderships, it can be amongst us, it can be amongst the voters, and people vote tactically, as they clearly did in Tiverton, then this Conservative government, never mind Boris Johnson, will be unseated at the next election. Only something like 3% of people voted Labour in Tiverton. Why?
Can I just say that the turnout was actually not.
It was
that
low.
large.
It wasn't.
And it is a wide consensus that a lot of Conservative voters actually stayed away.
So some of those Conservative voters may well be re-energised when it comes to the next election. But why essentially were those 2 seats lost? And let's not forget. Let me answer the question. What happened in Tiverton? It's the biggest upset in British political history in terms of a majority overturned. Why did it happen? We have low growth in this country. We have low wages. I passed a petrol pump.
But just
quickly answer the question.
That could all be because of the pandemic.
It could be.
And also a lot of things. But if you were to choose those...
Yes, so it's the state of the country, partly. I passed a petrol station where it's $1.93 now. It's going up almost daily. We know that. Well, yes, but that doesn't mean that's not why people are voting the way they are. We have low growth, low wages, high inflation, high taxes. I don't think the tax yield has... You said you're fiscally conservative, Leo. I don't think the tax yield has ever been higher, but it's hitting poorer people. Also, people don't like being taken for fools. And what Boris Johnson did by setting the rules and then breaking them himself egregiously, in my view, makes people think that's exactly what he's doing. He is taking us for fools.
So you think it's Boris Johnson is the main reason. What do you think, Leo?
Yeah, I've got to agree with everybody. Boris Johnson has really got to carry the can on this. He's been the leader for 3 years. And when people vote Conservative, call me crazy, but I think people want a Conservative government. They don't want this left-leaning, extremely socially liberal, high-tax, high-spend government. They want a classically Conservative government. So maybe if we get a classically Conservative leader who, puts all the buffoonery to one side. Boris was a great mayor because a mayor is essentially just there to open supermarkets and appear on TV. But, a Prime Minister has got actual responsibilities. Yeah. The one place I think Boris has stepped up to the plate and led the world is in his support for Ukraine, and he's galvanised support and led Europe in that. But it's interesting to see. I don't think Brexit is the huge issue that it used to be, and to see Anne Widdecombe saying, Boris should be making, the reversal of Brexit illegal, that's anti-democratic.